Welcome, everybody, to the Character Issues News Network for news. My name is Brian Edwards. I'm here bringing you the newscast today. Joining me, as always, is senior correspondent Leah Haydu. Leah, how are you?
Hello. It is almost my birthday, and I got
Yes.
a cake. I will share pictures later, probably on both social media and to you guys directly, so that all of this makes sense when the podcast goes up.
Fantastic. Our foreign correspondent Rich Davison is also here. Rich, how are you?
Yeah, I feel really newsy today because I'm recording in my living room with my
Are you
microphone
wearing a flat cap
in my
Do you have
hands.
suspenders on?
Yeah, why not? So I've got like a microphone in my hand, so I feel like one of those kind of like news correspondents standing and taking like a broadcast on location. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
except the location is about 10 meters away from where I usually record.
You're the man on the street.
Exactly. We have had featured reporters, is it Zelda and Miles Edwards in the past?
Yep.
It is likely that we might get Zach Davison joining us for this
perfect.
particular podcast at some point, so we'll see.
It's we're all in the midst of playing a bunch of video games, which is normal for us, but like it's just not to reveal too much of the green room conversation, is that Rich and I are having a very good time right now, and Leah, the game you're playing is not so much of a good time, and I know this directly because it was the game I was playing last week.
You're hosting the show that this
yes.
game is on, so I mean, that's commitment. I don't know. Listen, it's Balan Wonderworld, and
Yeah, it is.
like I don't think Balan Wonderworld is that bad. Like, it's not as bad as it has been made out to be, but it's not good. Like, it's a
That's
fever
the worst,
dream.
though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's it does this thing, Rich, where it does like on some of these levels where it's like it's not parallax scrolling. I don't even know what you'd call it. Where like you're clearly on a curved surface, but it flattens out as you walk to it and gives this weird like fisheye lens almost effect to the whole world. It's the worst.
So I did watch Leah play about 10 minutes of this, and I noped out. I was like, nah, this looks shit. Like really
Leah,
shit.
have you done the chess master level yet?
Yes.
Oh, I hated that fucking level.
Chess master.
Yeah.
It's just in the chess level in Balan Wonderworld.
As far as I can figure out, the and I'm putting like air quotes the size of my apartment around this story in this game is that it's kind of like Persona, actually.
I have that written down.
Yeah. So these people have a problem in their hearts. It might be that they played chess and now they can't be good at chess anymore. It might be like the level I just did, that they don't want to get married anymore because their parents died, and you have to make them want to get married again because that's how women work. You have to be. So, and you as the costume wearing person, whether you're a boy or a girl, those are the only options. And there are only 4 of them total. 2 boy options, 2 girl options. Actually, maybe it's 3 of each, but anyway, I digress. You go into these people's worlds / palaces, question mark, and you fix their problem, and then there's a dance number. So that's what Balan Wonderworld is like. It's like Persona.
I promise this is still a news show, and this is not Balan Wonderworld show.
I know.
But how you feel about Balan's bout?
Is that a euphemism?
So
No,
that's the thing you watch me do. Where actually,
it's a
little side.
Jesus Christ!
It's where you
What's the
play
name of
as Balan.
QTE. That's what I'm thinking of.
You and the QTE is you hit X 4 times, sometimes 5.
God damn.
Yeah.
You know that if you get excellent on all of them, you get a trophy.
You get a trophy.
That,
yeah,
okay.
I do know that. And did you know that you can't go back and try those again?
Yep. You have to get out of the level and restart.
No, not even that. You
What?
can't try them again, period.
Really?
Yeah. I tried. Maybe that was one of the ones that I had already beaten, but like I went back in and I'm like, okay, well I'm gonna try this, and it was locked off. So
So stay tuned to the Kane and Rinse podcast for our full thoughts on Balan Wonderworld and the next character issues, because we will be talking about playing.
Oh, we will. I promise.
But as of course, Rich Davison, you know that this is a news show. This is our hard hitting journalism show. And so we picked the 3 stories that mattered in video games the last 2 weeks. And the first story that we're going to talk about is the Nintendo Direct that happened this past, what was it, Wednesday, whatever it was. Nintendo had a Direct. It came out, Nintendo's having Direct, and very quickly it was like, it's a partner Direct, so don't expect, big old Nintendo news out of this necessarily. But they went through and they announced a bunch of stuff, and I don't want to be like not much of this really did a lot for your boy personally.
Yeah.
Agree.
Save for, I've got one that I really want to talk about, but Rich, looking at like what was talked about in this Direct, was there anything that jumped out to you and be like, yeah, I definitely want to play that, or was it just kind of like this sure was a partner Direct? Like, what are you thinking?
Man, you threw to me, and I'm like the most tepid person ever. Yeah, listen, I think we're all probably going to be chatting about the same game. This is a game that I caught on, I think, Instagram of all places, a couple of weeks ago, and I sent Leah this. Purely because the art style, it's Orbitals, which is a Switch 2 exclusive, right? Coming in the summertime.
Yeah. Currently, yes.
Yep.
Man,
yeah, like
that looks so cool.
Kind of, yeah, it looks awesome. It appears, now tell me if you think I'm wrong, I've only watched the one trailer that was in this Direct, like they appear to be going for the kind of split fiction-y type of thing, right? Like,
yeah, seems like it.
Co-op 2-player, like, I don't think you can't play this 1-player, I don't think. But yeah, the art style is awesome. It looks like an early 90s anime, like it's really, really rad. That was actually their opening thing in this Direct. The first thing they showed, and it was very striking, so it makes sense.
It's like very of a time, isn't it? Just with the art style. I mean, it's got that whole like, what was it, Daft Punk, Interstellar, 5555. Oh my god, I can't remember who the manga artist is now. I'll find it in a moment. But it really feels
no, it's not that.
No, definitely not him. No. But it's just like, it's just really striking, and actually what I thought it was going to be is all style and zero substance. But looking at some of the gameplay that's in there, I was like, oh yeah, cool, okay, like this is probably maybe not going to blow my socks off in terms of gameplay, but damn, like I could see myself playing this all day, every day. It just seems to be something cool for the Switch, like another reason to sort of feel excited about what's it called, Switch 2, which I don't at the moment.
Yeah, I that definitely seems like maybe like the one Switch 2 exclusive that I'd be pumped about. Leah, did you see anything here that spoke to you?
Aside from Orbitals, which was the big one, there are a couple of others that I thought looked interesting. What kind of surprised me about this Direct, and maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but just was the number of ports. Like, most of this is ports.
Yes.
There's very little here that is actually just for the Switch. But I did, so the Paranormasight game that they announced, I played the first one of those relatively recently. I think it was last year. And I enjoyed it. So, I mean, it's not something that I'm like foaming at the mouth for, but I will play that, and I will probably enjoy it. It's and I think, Brian, if you haven't played Paranormasight, I think you would also enjoy it.
Cool.
Rich, I don't think you would, but maybe, I don't know.
Those have been on my radar. I've never touched one.
I played it on the Steam Deck, so I mean, it's a good portable game because it's broken up in an appropriate way, but it's kind of somewhere between a point and click adventure and a not even Professor Layton levels of puzzles. Like, there are some puzzles, but not. It's relatively minimal. But the other,
he's definitely speaking my language with point and click adventures. I love a good point and click.
Yeah, it's like kind of a little bit of a visual novel, kind of a little bit of a point and click, kind of a little bit of a mystery. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first one, so cool. I will look forward to this one. And then the other one that I am interested in is something that we'd already seen at some variety of Keeley verse thing, and that's the Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tale.
Yeah. That's the one I was gonna call out
Yeah,
too. What speaks to you about that one?
It's a JRPG, Brian, that is from Square Enix, and it's that HD 2D thing.
I think it's more in the vein of like A Link to the Past though than like Chrono Triggery. If I remember correctly, it's got that kind of like action RPG gameplay as opposed to turn-based.
I played the demo of this back when it was released on the Switch, and to me the most direct comparison, which is exactly the same as Link to the Past, is Secret of Mana. Like it's just like the battles are active, but it has those RPG mechanics. Like I really dug the demo, and I'm super excited to play this. Comes out in June 18th. But the thing is that it's also coming to PlayStation and Steam, and I'm probably going to play this on PlayStation.
So not to be like super cynical about this, but that art style, are we fatigued by this yet, or is it just me? Because this at one point, like 10 years ago, blew my tits off. But like, I don't know, man. Like just at the moment, I'm like finding it hard to differentiate between your Octopath Travelers and your Live Alives and your Adventures of Elliot and the Millennium Tales at this point. It's like, I wish Square would kind of push it along now. I mean, I don't hate what I see. It's just that, this is like an engine that they're really kind of liberally using to trot out some games. And I don't want to get like all sort of graphic snob about it, but come on, guys, like give us a little bit more than what we're getting. That's my view.
I like it, so fuck you again.
Oh my god! Of course you do. You just like it just to spite me.
Well, I mean that helps, but not solely. No.
It's not that I'm sick of it yet. I did play Octopath Traveler 2, and I spent a long time in that game. This looks. I mean, it clearly the same engine. Clearly, I mean, the same artists working on it. I mean, there's so much in similarity in how it looks. I guess I'm not. It hasn't reached peak saturation with me yet, but it will probably soon. Live Alive was that way too.
Yeah.
But
great game.
Fair, I think my thing is that I am just extremely tolerant of a lot of anime / JRPG bullshit. So I mean, I'm not saying that's a good thing. I should probably be more discerning, but I'm not. So, yeah.
I know what you mean. I get that way too, with some of that stuff. But yeah, it does, like, when looking at this, like it was tough for me until I saw the UI. Like, so's the UI where he's got like clearly like heart equivalents in the top left, just like a Zelda game, right? Like, then I was like, oh, it's different. But like looking in cutscenes, you could have told me this was Octopath Traveler 3 if it was just showing me cutscenes, and I wouldn't have argued that. You know, so I guess maybe there is something to be said for that. It's not distinct enough to really separate itself. But I had actually forgotten this game was coming out, and then it was like, hey, June. I'm like, yeah, fuck, I'm in for a summer JRPG. Let's go.
Yeah.
And there's a big axolotl that you fight.
Sick.
Doesn't like. Yeah, exactly. This is fucking awesome.
I've got some questions because there's more in this, so more in this direct. I think there's like a lot to talk about, but one question that I definitely had for myself as I was playing this is like, okay, is 2026 a reasonable year to get into Digimon? Because I don't know anything about it, except for like what I watched when I was like 13 or something,
right?
Like amount of years ago. But I haven't got a clue what's going on, and I'm confused about how it was formerly ostensibly Pokemon to me and is now like hard anime drama. So it's like, where's the right place to step onto this whole Digimon thing?
I've only played one Digimon game total, and it was on, I think that it was on the Vita, so that tells you about how long ago it was, but it was more similar to this style, I think, than the kind of original Digimon style, which, like you mentioned, is more akin to Pokemon than it is to like a super detailed JRPG, and I enjoyed it, but I can't speak for anything since that one came. I think there's been a couple since then. I don't know if there's a running storyline. There wasn't in the game that I played. It was pretty self-contained, but yeah, I think you'd probably like it if I'm judging from what I know, which is not. Again, this is very conditional because I don't have a whole lot of information. But
so can I ask a investigative journalist question real quick?
I wish you would.
Is Digimon, is it exactly like Pokemon? Like you're capturing monsters that you're battling and then making them part of your team? Like, is it a 1-for-1 Pokemon alike? Because I have zero Digimon experience. I mean, absolutely none.
I played the original Digimon World on PS1, right? And this is like, well, again, like I said, I would have been probably about 13. And it was not quite the same premise. It was like your Digimon evolve temporarily and then go back to like their original sort of baby form or something like that. So it doesn't have the exact... I think it's legally distinct from Pokemon is probably what I'm trying to get here.
Yeah, gotcha.
But God knows if that's kind of persevered into the modern games.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I seem to remember that like there were kind of different evolution paths that you could do with your Digimon.
Whoa.
So
That's
it wasn't
very sacrilegious.
Yeah, it wasn't as like straightforward as Pokemon. It was more like an Eevee thing where you can go in slightly different directions. But again, it's been a while. Digimon Story. I looked it up because I couldn't remember what the actual title was, and it was killing me. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth is what I played.
Oh
God, that sounds awful.
Of course it is.
No, I mean it was fun. I enjoyed it. I would probably try the new one and enjoy it as well. I'm assuming. I don't know that I know the story, but
yeah, man, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would imagine that the story in the Digimon game would be like kind of like a in a Pokemon way. Is that like they've got to somehow reset you, right? Like at the beginning, and like you're gonna be a new Digimon, detective. I don't know what the fuck you do in those games, but yeah, I don't know. It did look. I would be willing to try something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really attractive as a game, and it seems like a good home to kind of have that in the PS2. Sorry, Freudian slip. Switch 2. Yeah, I just don't know. Like, it feels like we're like probably 25 potentially plus years into the whole Digimon universe, and I just found myself asking, like, how on earth do you get into this series at this time? Like, can you just jump on? And it seems like none of us know. So, yeah, fun question, Rich. Moving swiftly on while I don't look like a tit.
Wait. I have one more thing. Yeah. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory is on PlayStation Plus, so you can try it if you want.
Sure.
All right.
Straight away. Yeah. I wanted to chat about the arcade archives and their kind of branch out as well. Yeah. So this is not my thing. I'm not one of those kind of like games archivists type of people. Like I generally play everything, but I'm not like obsessed over like the quality of emulation, and like I'm not as discerning as some of the guys in Kane and Rinse are. But looks as though the arcade archives guys, who basically brought loads of stuff to like many different stores, are branching out into this new kind of venture called console archives, in which they're going to go and start to deploy and release some new games that are console games in new formats, which is kind of cool actually, because they're doing the Lord's work here in a way that potentially Nintendo and others aren't. And I saw that Leon from Kane and Rinse had kind of done a bit of sleuthing here and identified that they're going to be releasing games from day dot all the way up to the PS3 and Xbox 360 era is their intent.
Oh, wow.
Which,
awesome.
If so, is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really, and like you said, like maybe if there's another company or another development team that is more interested than the people that own the IP, they're might be likely to let them do that, you know what I mean, and make a buck off of it.
This is how we get our Castlevania 64 release.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I was actually pumped to see Cool Borders on there. I was like, oh yeah, snowboarding games. Yeah. They fucking rule. Yeah, that was really cool.
Generally big fans of snowboarding games here, aren't we?
Yeah, me too.
In general. Yeah.
I would like to see, and this will never happen because it was EA, but I would love to get an SSX Tricky collection at some point.
Oh, man.
I would love a reason to play those games again.
A little bit of behind the scenes. Every single year, I consider nominating SSX 3, and I'm like, do not. The only thing that makes me not want to do that is that Leon will make me cover off every other SSX game in the series, and I'm like, nah,
exactly,
I just want to talk about SSX 3, thanks.
Yeah,
hence why
they
we've
really
got,
built to a crescendo with SSX 3. I played the absolute shit out of that game. What a fun game.
Yeah, the closest I've ever got, of course, is bringing Vigo Rolig onto the character shoes as well. One of my not the best nominations, but here we go.
Oh, I mean, it is one of the best because it's not one of the best. You know what I mean? Like we all know about Vigo Rolig and his penchant.
Would I have
for
ever known about
yes.
Vigo Rolig otherwise? Absolutely not. So, yep.
You wear silk panties. What can I say?
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to shout out just one more game just because I think it's one that me and my son will be playing together. My son, as many kids who are 8, is super into Minecraft. And while he doesn't really have the patience and I guess maybe technical skill to play through. Like he played through Super Mario 3D World and beat that by himself, and Bowser's Fury. But he gets a little frustrated with some of the 3D games. But he loves crafting, loves all this stuff. So I think a really logical progression for him to kind of get into more 3D games is Valheim, because it's hey, it's like Minecraft. It's a little more serious, a little more I don't know, has a little more threat to it, but also when he saw that we could chop down logs and build a log cabin, he's like, we need to play that. I'm like, then we will, sir. So we'll probably dip into Valheim when that comes. I'm kind of hoping that comes to PlayStation as well, just because it feels like a better time to a better way to play it. But so I'll probably learn some about Valheim at some point this year. So
all right.
And then, last but not least, Capcom and Bethesda basically are like, hey, a bunch of shit's coming to Switch, which makes sense. Fallout 4 and Oblivion and Indiana Jones are coming, and then as well, which we already knew about Resident Evil Requiem coming out. They also announced that Pragmata will be coming as well, which is a game that I'm really interested in. There's a ghost AI girl or a robot AI girl who follows you around, and when she hacks stuff, she says, "Time to hack," and I'm into that. Let's just do that.
Announcing what you're going to do before you do it, like a Pokemon.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. You get it.
Right. Permission to be cynical asshole for a little bit.
Please.
When Todd Howard graced the screen, I audibly groaned. I was like, oh God, what now? Let me guess, we're going to get another version of Skyrim. But it wasn't. He didn't. It was everything but Skyrim. So it's Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the fuck? Oblivion, the remaster that came out recently. And then obviously the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which actually, to be fair, still haven't played it because it's holding its value really well. And looks amazing. I mean, that's a good get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that game. Some people were frustrated with the end. There's one, so not to go too deep with Indiana Jones. I think, Leah, you'll agree with me.
Sure.
There's one section that involves a snake that can get fucked.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Other than that,
God, I'd forgotten about that until you said that. And then as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, God, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the rest of that game, though, from its entirety, I fucking loved it. I loved every other part of that game.
I mean,
the
more interesting conversation there is one of that was definitely a company that Microsoft bought out and definitely had intentions of making exclusive, and here we are, 2 years later, seeing them release all of these games on absolutely everything because it was never going to work.
Wait, breaking news. Apparently on this whole thing, I found a line that says both Leon and Grace from Resident Evil Requiem are getting amiibo, so I can have a Leon S. Kennedy on my shelf.
Nice.
I want a Leon Sexy Kennedy for my work desk.
There was a line in that presentation for Resident Evil where it was Leon's brute power, and I was like, that dude's 9 stone soaking wet. He must weigh 150 pounds, you know?
If you want, you already did the power thing with Chris, right? If you want somebody who's going to punch a boulder, you got your boy. Leon is kind of the twink to Chris's bear.
For sure.
Yeah.
I do, not to get even further in the weeds about Nintendo, but I understand why Microsoft's putting these games out on Switch, and it's not just because they need money and to prove that their gaming division was worth all the investment. I have one of my best friends he's been out of gaming for quite a while, but he got his son a Switch 2 for this past Christmas, right? So he got Switch 2. So he sent me a text. He's like, "Hey, what games?" Like, he told me the games he used to play, and I'm like, "Yeah, there's this game that you might like. It's out on Switch 2. I guess it runs pretty well. It's called Cyberpunk. You might want to try it out, but it's going to be a lot. You haven't played games in like 10 years." And he ended up putting like 120 hours into Cyberpunk and loved it. So now he's looking for more stuff to play, but he only has a Switch 2. And I was like, I was kind of thinking about like he played, Oblivion originally. When I sent him these announcements, and he's like, Fallout 4, Indiana Jones, the last 3 Resident Evils, including the new one, the Oblivion remastered. Like now you have people who might only have a Switch because they got it for their kids, who are now rediscovering that they like to play kind of bigger games. So like, I think these will find a very healthy audience here.
That's a really good point, because I definitely do this, and I'm guessing you guys probably do too. Like, I just kind of automatically think of these things like, why are they doing so many ports? Like, why wouldn't I just play this on PlayStation or whatever? But yeah, I mean, maybe not all these games are for us.
Yeah,
right.
True,
yeah.
true.
Maybe.
I find that hard to believe. Given that,
I do
the world
too.
revolves
Listen,
around me, but
I don't see how that's possible when it's clearly also revolving around me. But I just had that realization. I'm like, wait a minute, is this just mean it's not for me? How could that be?
Yeah, no, that's not possible. Not possible at all. So now that we tried to discuss that horrible thought, let's move on to the next story.
Well, before we do move
please,
on, can I
go
just
ahead,
sort of like just for funsies for me, like overall thoughts, like kind of closing opinions on the Switch 2 showcase?
I mean, I thought it was fine. Like it wasn't. I wasn't disappointed necessarily, but I also wasn't wowed. I was whelmed.
Yeah,
let's say.
Yes, there are a couple things in there that were for me. Like I'm specifically thinking about Elliot and orbitals and stuff. Like those are things I'm excited about. But yeah, I don't. Like the thing that I'm waiting for, which we're probably not going to get now until at least next month, if not waiting right till June for like around the Summer Games Fest. Like I want to know what Nintendo games are coming out this year.
Yeah, man. Dude, March 10th, Mario Day.
Yeah, Mario Day. There's a 40th anniversary of Legend of Zelda. There's been rumors of an Ocarina of Time remake, which I would just fucking go so... I would mark out, to use a wrestling term, for that. Like, I would go crazy. Like, I was a guy, like, and again, not to reveal too many cards, like I played a lot of games on my Switch 1, and, like, I enjoyed it for what it was, but, like, it was always, like, when the Super Mario RPG remake got announced, like, I fucking, like, almost teared up. Like, holy shit. Like, I want that nostalgia-fueled punch in the gut. Give me the audio stinger with a new version of something from Nintendo. And so these ones don't do as much for me. But also, I have the luxury of having other consoles and a gaming PC and stuff, So, yeah.
Cool. I mean, thoughtful response. For me, I guess it's just like bump. Like, it's like, okay, look, we are continuing to support. We're still pulling in different... things. Like, you're not going to be without, nothing here is going to kind of probably sell a new person a system, potentially not if they're a hardcore gamer, but like, the range of games that you've got here between, like, obviously Orbitals, like a brand new game, Bomberman, which is like a party classic, Valheim, which is like an 8-player online co-op. It's kind of showcasing what the Switch could do. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, we didn't talk about that because I think we've talked about it to death, but like, there's some big games coming here, and like, They are kind of, in a sense, like competing, maybe not technologically, but in terms of like sharing the marketplace with some of the competitors, which is a cool thing, Like, I had this conversation with Leah. I was like, as I get like slightly older and my life gets more complicated, I'm not on the bleeding edge of like new releases these days so much. So I've got like a healthy backlog of games that I haven't played, most of which are on this direct. And I thought to myself, the Switch 2 could be a cool place to hang out for a couple of years, and just kind of catch up, or not, as the case may be. So for me, I kind of came away thinking, this is maybe not like delighted me, but it has definitely kind of excited us in some way, and I feel no more inclined to hop into the Nintendo bandwagon for the first time in a couple of years. So yeah, good stuff.
That's exciting then. Yeah. It's also worth noting that we talk about like who these games are for, and like and what's going to be the impact of this. Like I just pulled up the video, the stream, which was like the official Nintendo of America site stream, it already has 1 million views. You know what I mean? So like, there's a ton of fucking people that are like seeking this shit out, you know, and then all the ads will come in the Switch store and everything else. Like, there's a huge audience there that like probably doesn't get a chance to see these things all the time everywhere. Like, we seek them out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that all of this stuff that, once again, isn't necessarily for me is going to do just fucking fine on the Switch.
Yeah.
No doubt.
There's a lot of people play video games, it turns out. Also, besides, we didn't talk about this. We're all going to play Turok Origins, right? I mean, that's,
something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, the biggest news.
Just as soon as I finish Disney Dreamlight Valley, I'll get straight on it.
Listen.
Well, you can't really finish that. There's a lot of gems. Anyway,
I have that on my Steam Deck, and I haven't started it up yet because I got it on one of the many Steam sales. And,
is that because you're too busy crying into Vampire Survivors all the time?
Listen, do you want to get me started on this? Because I will tell you all about Vampire Survivors. I have 100%ed that motherfucking game. I have all the evolutions. I have all the characters unlocked. I have all the achievements. There's like 200 some of them.
It's like saying I've 100%ed fucking fentanyl, you know? It's
it's 100. It is absolutely like that. I don't know if I'm proud of it or not. I kind of am, but then I'm kind of sad.
No, don't be sad.
I am in control of my life, guys. It's fine.
Speaking of sad. I don't know what we want to call this. Our next story is about Obsidian, with the famous Xbox Games Studio developer, Obsidian Games. They came out, and basically what happened is that it was a Bloomberg interview with the Obsidian head, and this has been re-reported. I'm specifically referencing the VGC article that I'm looking at right now. That Outer Worlds and Avowed did not sell well last year, and because of that, they will not be making an Outer Worlds 3, and they will be making other games in the Avowed universe, which is it's a really interesting thing to say, because the Avowed game took place in the Pillars of Eternity universe. So, like, does that mean that they're going to be making a new Pillars of Eternity? Are they making another Avowed? I don't know. So, I played both of these games. I played Avowed to completion. I played like 25 hours of the Outer Worlds 2, and I literally, the last 10 hours were out of protest, but I was hoping that it would grab me. I find these games to just be fine. Like, they're like Elder Scrolls or Fallout likes, and that's very reductive, but it is clearly what they're going for, like in dialogue and quest choices and leveling up and all the quest design, all these things. Like, but they just feel like these two specifically, Avowed maybe a little less so. They just feel like hollow and devoid of like that personality that you expect from an Obsidian game. Like, when you think of Fallout New Vegas, like it's a Fallout game, but like it has all this wonderful writing and this personality and these stories and characters that you love, and a lot of that was missing from these two entries of the game, from my perspective. Like I said, I finished Avowed. I just could not bring myself, despite the fact that I spent $70 fucking on it, I could not bring myself to finish the Outer Worlds 2, which is rare for me to nope out of that. Do you guys have any history with these games? Does this surprise you? Does it, like, do you have any opinion on Obsidian and where they're at right now, or are they just part of the Xbox gear machine?
I think it's weird. Like, Obsidian for me have a lot of political capital from way back when with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, and then wasn't it Fallout New Vegas that they made as well, which I really like those games. In fact, generally think that they are better than the predecessors made by the original studios. But it hasn't been great since those days. I mean, I wouldn't say, maybe not like commercially, couldn't really tell you how it's been, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I always want the studio to succeed, but I think they're kind of not struggling necessarily, but like they're not quite kind of elevating themselves in the way you would expect them to, based around the amount of quality and pedigree that they've got. I never finished the Outer Worlds, and I'm not sure why, because I thought it was an absolutely fine game.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's the problem. It just wasn't really grabbing us in the intended way. Leah, you played the Outer Worlds, haven't you?
Yes, I did. I played it to completion. And I kind of had the same reaction. Like, it was fine. I liked it. I enjoyed my time with it. I can't see myself necessarily going back to it, and I haven't touched the Outer Worlds 2. I would play it, but it's not. There's so many other things that I am more interested in playing that I just never really got around to it. Avowed, I did play a little bit of. Like not much, like maybe 4 or 5 hours, because as we all know, your first companion is Garrus, so I had to. I'm contractually obligated. Yeah. And but there wasn't anything wrong with Avowed that like made me stop playing it. I just kind of drifted off. It was probably another podcast game or something.
That's it, man.
Yeah, and it just wasn't holding me. I will say, I went to look up a list of Obsidian stuff, and probably the last Obsidian game that I was really, really into was Pentiment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which, yeah. I had forgotten was even them, but...
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, because one of the other bits of the story that is, I think, an important kind of like turn on it is that they did the early access version of Grounded 2 came out this year, or excuse me, in 2025, and they say that did great. Like, that's doing gangbusters. But I wonder if that's based on like their internal expectations versus like these big games that are in these, kind of these big RPGs. Yeah. Maybe they were expecting
also known as the Square Enix problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they were like, Grounded 2, we'll just see how that does, and then it surprised them with how popular it was.
So they're Microsoft owned now, aren't they? Or they're like a second party. Ooh.
Xbox
way to
Game
hit your horse to
Obsidian.
the wrong place, So, I don't know. Like, hopefully they come out of it.
This leads me to I think maybe is a bigger question that we're definitely going to be able to answer because we've done all the research. Do you think that this is like these games weren't great, or do you think that like I was the world's biggest Fallout 3 and Skyrim and Oblivion fan that you could meet? I was Bethesda coded. I was all in on what they did, and Starfield came out, and I was just like, oh, it's another one of those, and it's cool, it's all right. I didn't really like some of the ideas, but and then I bounced off that one. And then these games come out, which are essentially like those exact types of games, just in different universes. Do you think that the appetite for this type of open world RPG is just gone the way of the Assassin's Creed? It's just we've already kind of seen this before, and it's getting long in the tooth, and the novelty of being able to pickpocket a guy and put a hand grenade in there has worn off. You know what I mean? Is it the type of game that's the problem? Or is it the I don't know how to marry those two, but
I think it's a little from column A, a little from column B. Yeah. My observation of Obsidian is they're a company that's basically made a living, for the most part, out of taking existing assets. I don't mean art assets. I mean engines, lighting, and crafting a either secondary game or a game in the same style of against their own existing IP. It seems as though they've had a lot more success. I don't want to say success, but their legacy is a little bit stronger when they've created sequels to existing games, probably because they're able to flex some of their staff in a bit of a better way. And I don't like the guy, but Chris Avellone, who's a bit of a troubled individual, allegedly. I'll say that in case the lawyers come. They're able to kind of use existing kind of patterns and then turn it into something different. So it's weird, isn't it, that they have a culture and a history of doing good things with other games, except they're doing it against a market that seems to be less interested in those games in the first place. So it's no surprise to me.
Yeah, it's an interesting shift, because for a while there, and maybe not necessarily with the three of us, but the appetite from the consumer appeared to be bigger, more 100-hour epics and all these things, and now it just feels like the appetite that has kind of shifted. So Obsidian kind of makes these smaller experiences, they're not small games, but they're in the 20 to 30 hour range games, right? And you think that might kind of slot into people's wheelhouse a little bit, and for whatever reason, these just, and even with me, someone who loves these types of games, they just couldn't get their wheels to really catch pavement, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they continue to try weird and cool stuff. I'd love to see them try another Pillars of Eternity because, like, there is no real competition with Larian in, like, the CRPG space right now. So I'd love to see somebody take another crack at that with the success of Baldur's Gate 3. They've already got this universe, all these things. Like, try something in that vein, even though those games might not be for me, but, like, that might be something at least a little bit more gripping. Because who knows when Divinity's going to come out? Like, I mean, I think it's going to be a minute.
2029.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you, Brian, because like I kind of came at Obsidian from the Black Isle direction.
Yeah,
and that's where I really, glommed onto what they were doing. So that's, and I mean, I've played a lot, too many potentially of these types of games in both kind of branches of the path there. And I don't know, I would like to see more of the CRPGs. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Do you know what my concern is? That they may go the way of like Ubisoft Studios, where they just get strip mined. A lot of like what happened with Rare. Like there's quality and there's talent in that studio. I'd hate to see them kind of get disbanded and put into as assets into other studios to try and sort of raise the quality of that kind of stuff. So,
hey, you made this really cool like magic effect in Avowed. We'd really like to see that on a plasma grenade in Halo. Why don't you guys come on over here?
It's more like we'd like to see it in a plasma grenade in 7 Halos, please.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what the future for Obsidian holds. I hope that they can find a project that makes the people there happy, and allows them to keep making video games, obviously. So the third, anything else on that before we move on, guys?
No, sir.
Nope.
Okay. The third story was a bit of a toss-up. I thought it would be really fun to talk about Overwatch 2 becoming Overwatch again, but there's not much more to say than like, man, that was probably a mistake making Overwatch 2, huh?
Like, Paul, I know we're not here to discuss Overwatch, but I lament Overwatch all the time. I love that game. I absolutely adored it.
I've tried 2, which is now just Overwatch again. But like they were gonna do all this PvE stuff, and now it's just kind of like, we're making it 5 on. They were just going back to Overwatch. Like, man, just what a.
To be
what
fair,
a wild story.
I want to play Overwatch now.
Yeah, me too.
That's the case.
Me too. Yeah. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I also do. But instead, late on in the week, at the 11th hour, just PlayStation decided to serve us up news story number 3, which is the announcement the same day as the Nintendo Direct, which I thought was odd because I felt like it kind of got swallowed by it, but it still did manage to get a bunch of reactions. Is PlayStation Guerrilla Games finally announced their kind of co-op. I'm not sure if it's going to be free to play. I'm not quite sure. They didn't really come out and say that. But like open world, but co-op experience, almost like an MMO Horizon game. It's called Horizon Hunters Gatherings. I always want to say Hunter Gatherers. And they came out with like a 9-minute trailer where like Guerrilla kind of talked about the game. There was a big cinematic trailer, and they talked about kind of like what the gameplay is going to look like. And I think the biggest story out of this is that it looks like they took the Horizon art and like made it cartoony and so this almost looks like a League of Legends kind of art style for this stuff. Like, what do you guys think of the art style of this game? Because I found it like really kind of. It just surprised me. I'm not sure if I like it or I hate it. I really don't know.
Can I give you my thought in a single sentence?
Yeah.
Fortnite called it wants its art style back.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Does this do anything for you guys? Because like, I liked Zero Dawn a lot. I platinumed that game. I played Forbidden West. I thought it was okay. I thought it was another one of those, and it was good. I liked it. But this, like, I don't find this universe that captivating enough for this. What were you going to say, Leah? I cut you off.
No, I was just going to say, I don't hate... I'm watching the trailer right now because I hadn't really looked at much of this. But I don't hate the art style, but Rich isn't 100% correct. Like, this is... They looked at Fortnite and said, that's making a shitload of money. Let's do that.
Yeah.
And with regard to the game itself... this isn't for me. I have not played
Yeah.
Horizon, although I keep meaning to. It's just one of those things that keeps slipping. And I'm not particularly interested in this type of game, so I think I'm pretty much out.
Yeah, I think that seems to be the consensus.
Yeah.
I think it was Jay from Canerins posted in Slack, and I've just put it into the Discord now, like some of the initial feedback that they got from the market research, and we can get into that in a little bit. But just to give you my thoughts, like one of the things about like Guerrilla was, and not just Guerrilla, but like the games that they put out, was the Decima engine, which is basically incredible and essentially only been used in 4 games: Horizon Forbidden West, fucking what's it called, Death Stranding and Death Stranding 2.
I don't think I knew that it was used in Horizon.
It was specifically generated for Horizon because it's first party.
I must have heard that
engine.
at some point, but it was not in my brain. So
now, Horizon Call of the Wilds, which was the VR game, was built in Unreal 4, right? And this game has, like, Fortnite aside, Epic, like a game owned by Epic, has Unreal 4 stylings like waved in it. So like my first instinct when I see this is like, why the fuck have they spent so long piss farting around in development for the Decima engine and still don't use it? Like, we've seen what this game is. Like that opening section of flipping Death Stranding 2 that we've all played fairly recently, breathtaking, like absolutely breathtaking. And this is the art style you go for, and I think that's a calculated decision purely just to sort of like court and cluster around existing stuff. Now, let's get into this. So the feedback that they got was really unfavorable. So the 2 questions that were asked are: what are your first impressions of Horizon Hunters Gathering? 41% of the responses read as "I'm already out." Second question: do you like Horizon Hunters Gathering art style? And there's about 2,000 votes here. No, looks rubbish was the predominant answer with 47%. Like, that is damning. That is really, really damning. And this is not unusual. There's games that have had like drastic art style changes throughout development. Like, what was that eager game? Bloodstained Curse of the Moon did a full 180 on the art style. Which is fine. It's absolutely fine. I'm sure like there's still time to do this, but like this is not good for that IP. And it was Des in the Canerins Slack who said at one point, he's like, I really think that Sony have this idea that this game and this franchise is more well loved than it actually is. And I wish I could say to Des, you're absolutely wrong, but I just don't think he is. I think he's probably got
they want it to be there.
Yeah.
Like they really want a I don't know if it's quite a mascot character, but it is what they're looking for. But maybe like they want this
cool
to be their franchise.
Yeah, they want it to be their God of War or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like
sure.
like Guerrillas, or pick your like single player. Yeah, exactly.
Game.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the thing about it is that I don't know. Like, I loved Aloy, especially in the first game. I thought that story was excellent in the first game. The story in the second one kind of went off the rails, but I played through it. Like, I guess what I'm saying is that if they announce Horizon, Days of Future Past or whatever the third Horizon game would be called, like, I'd be well more into being like, I'm going to at least check that game out, because I'm invested in Aloy and that type of thing. Like, this right here, like, this reminds me, remember that Ubisoft Breath of the Wild kind of like that was like Greek mythology?
Oh, yeah.
It's called Immortals something. Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
This is what that reminds me of. It's like, it looks like things that that you recognize, but it has like this weird kind of like painterish art style, which allows things to look like smeary without looking bad, in big air quotes. And like it just takes some of that personality of it away from me. It just starts to look like if you told me, like, obviously it's Guerrilla and they've put a ton of work into it. I'm not trying to shit on them because I want to be excited about video games. But if you just showed me that cinematic trailer and told me that AI created it, I would have been like, okay. Like, I could have if I didn't notice.
This is true.
If I didn't know what these these like robot dinosaur models already looked like and what the character art already looked like. Like if you were just coming to me cold with this, I'd be like, is this like a real game or is this just like a fever dream of something that will never materialize? And that's not a good look for them, unfortunately. But
do you wanna,
by no fault of their own, really. It's just it is what it is.
Let me put something to you guys, right? And this is me speaking about my own kind of relationship with this. Forget about who released it. If there was a game that came out and it was like, yo, guys, look, 4-player co-op, right? Hunting dinosaurs. Oh, and the dinosaurs just so happen to be robots. Totally unrelated to Horizon. I'd probably be like, yeah, you know what? I could play that. There's something about the way that it's so kind of baked into this Horizon kind of like branding that really sticks in my craw a bit. And I know that's really cynical, but I'm definitely like, come on, like, really.
I think if I want to play a game like this, I'm gonna play Monster Hunter.
Exactly.
I don't want this.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Rise, like, look, for example, like Wilds is the most recent one that, like, I don't think any of us have played that yet, right? Like,
no,
like at some point we could all get that for $30 and then play it together. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see the need
franchise.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. Like, I just want to say,
you're
Monster Hunter is diminishing returns at this point. You know, like it's still peaked at World in 2017, and it's slowly getting kind of like less favorable from there.
Yeah.
I want to try those Monster Hunter Stories games, though. I'm
with the
Monsties. In those. Yeah.
The Monsties.
I forgot about the Monsties, but yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to take our Monsties out on a little walk, aren't we? Oh, yes, we are.
Do you not think that this feels like the last kind of bastion of, like, Jim Ryan? Like,
well,
boy, so that was my last note, Rich, and like this feels like when they pivoted back from service games to more single player stuff, that this was the one that was too far along and too like internally promising. There was like, we got to get this one out the gate. Like, let's get this one out the gate, and then we're moving back to our bread and butter. Like, it really does feel like that last lingering, effect of that for sure.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because they've canceled damn near everything else, right? Like, I mean, everything else got shit canned. So, yeah, wild stuff.
Good times.
Well, I hope that it finds an audience that appreciates it, because it does look like a lot of work went into it and a lot of time and effort, and a lot of good people are probably making all this stuff. But I am not optimistic. But hey, who knows? Maybe it comes out and it's the next fucking Fortnite, and we're all wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. But but I'd like Guerrilla to get back to just to kind of making single player rad shit would be awesome. But
that's my preference. But nobody cares what I think.
I have a feeling that all of this sort of like, being an IP that Sony can play around with and tinker with is doing the IP a little bit of damage, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree.
Disappointing, because I mean, at the time, I think the universally, it was amazing. Like, universally loved by most people who had a PlayStation 4 at the time.
And that was like that one game from E3 that year that everybody was like, did you see that fucking dinosaur game that Guerrilla's making? That thing looks incredible. Like, there was a lot of hype. There was a lot of, interest. The combat in those games was really cool too and really unique, and every fight felt significant. So this looks like kind of more like, again, the Fortnite-ification is such an easy term to use, but that's what this looks like. So maybe they can prove us wrong. Hopefully they do. Yeah. Our last story, it's not one of the big three. It's more of our human interest story. I just wanted to bring it up. That the Nintendo Switch has officially taken over sales of the best-selling console ever, overtaking the Nintendo DS.
This is a lot of consoles.
That is really impressive.
155.37 million units of the Nintendo Switch have been sold.
That's a big fucking number.
Yeah,
and I'm responsible. How many are you responsible for? I've got
that was
4.
my question. How many?
So is this just Switch 1s, or is it Switch 1 and Switch 2 together?
It's got to be Switch 1s, right?
I would say Switch 1.
I would think, yeah. Then I am responsible for 2.
I am responsible for 3.
And I am responsible for 4.
Yep. Okay, there we go. So So 9 of them, 9 of the 155.37 units that were taking us. I mean, that is the thing, right? Like once that Switch Lite came out and kind of the OLED made the base model Switch go down, like it became such like I wanted an OLED for me, so I gave my non-OLED to my son, who he had, and then we got a Switch Lite for my daughter. Like it's just like that's just. That was just,
I'm kind of the one who doesn't make sense here because it's just me and I have 2 of them. One of them is a launch model Nintendo Switch that is hooked up to my TV and it's in its dock and it doesn't come out of the dock. Well, it's not anymore. Now the Switch 2
Aren't you like a freak for handhelds though?
I am. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I have 2 because the other one is a light, so it is solely a handheld.
So I guess what I wanted to talk about here, if nobody else has anything else to say about the Switch itself, I was thinking this made me think about the DS a lot. I had a launch DS.
I did too.
And I got it, but like I was thinking, so the DS sold 154.02 million, which is ludicrous, right?
Yes.
What's your guys' favorite Nintendo DS game? Because I was struggling to come up with like an absolute all-time. Like I played a ton of games on that thing.
Yeah.
But what is your favorite?
I'm gonna have to pull up a
Nintendo
list.
DS.
Probably
No,
Link Between Worlds.
That was
3DS?
Yeah.
Oh, it was 3DS. Okay.
Yeah. So that was my first too.
So just regular ass
Just
DS.
regular ass DS. Yeah.
I don't
If
know,
you say
maybe one of the
Nintendogs, I'm gonna find
No, I was
you
going
and
to say
hurt
maybe
you.
one of the Zeldas.
So this is where I was going. Like I am incredibly fond of the Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. And
I love
honestly,
Phantom Hourglass. Good one. Yep.
I really think Spirit Tracks is probably like up there as a game that I really enjoy. But I don't know if it's my favorite. And these kind
I
of
think
subjective
mine might
questions.
be The World Ends With You.
Okay,
you've constantly reminded me that game exists.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the port was not great, so it's but the original was.
Gun to my head, it's probably a toss-up between the DS version of Chrono Trigger with the Akira Toriyama stuff, and or Advance Wars Dual Strike. That was an excellent version of that game. Not gonna lie.
I looked at a list and then I forgot about it and just brought it back up just so I could revisit it. And I honestly think my favorite game for the DS is not a Nintendo game. I think it is Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. I love that
Portrait
game.
of Ruin's really good.
I love that fucking game. And like there was another like, but this is like I was thinking like, man, how did this sell so much? But then I realized all of the games that like I kind of discovered via the DS, or like types of games even that I didn't know I liked, like the Professor Layton games.
Oh, the Layton games, yeah.
Yeah, like you know, like that didn't even like register. I think this was because I had the GameCube Animal Crossing and I played it, but like I played the fucking shit out of Wild World on my DS. Like that was like an everyday for a year type of game for me. So there was a lot of time I spent with it, but I found it interesting to be like, this is the best selling console of all time. And when it was like, what's your favorite game for it? I'm like, fuck, I don't know. You know what
this
I mean?
This was the console that led me to develop a crippling addiction to Rhythm Heaven. So
yeah, there you go.
There's also that.
I think
it wasn't the first Rhythm Heaven game, but it's the one that got me.
Yeah, man. Like culturally, it was doing different things. Like, do you remember when like Nintendogs came out and it just shifted the game? I mean, that was barely a game, and then they had like Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training, and it just sort of, like,
that's right, Brain. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about those.
It like permeated the zeitgeist in a really interesting way, and I think that's exactly the same as the Switch. Just to loop back to the kind of main story here, which is like Nintendo's like strategy for consoles. Like, I mean, you know, they've got like misses like the Wii U, which I really like that console. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's really cool in concept. Like is a swing and a miss, but they got the strategy like nailed with Switch, from everything down to the kind of like physical hardware that they're putting it, to the actual first party games, to the price point, which is still really, you know, the fact that you can buy a Switch 2 now for, I think it's about £299 is wild to me. You know, PlayStation's gone up, Xbox
for sure.
Series X or whatever it is also gone up. Like PC's going up because of the cost of RAM. Like, but Nintendo just seemed to get this stuff like nailed down and working.
I've just got three other shout outs just by looking at this list. They're not my favorite games, just ones that I really liked. Is the first time I ever played a Puzzle Quest game was on my DS.
Oh, God,
I
yes.
love those fucking games. And I don't think it was the first one. I think it was even a port from somewhere else. It was called Challenge of the Warlords, I believe.
Yes.
But it was the first time I ever
That-
played that, and I loved
That
it.
might have been a PC game first, but that's where I
Yeah.
played it too, was on the DS.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah,
fill for time. I'm going to get a list of the top selling DS games.
Oh, cool.
We can have
Yeah.
a look through that.
I first time I ever played 3D Picross was on which I love that. And then maybe this, like, I do think that probably Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is a better game, but a close second is in my favorite Grand Theft Autos is Chinatown Wars, which
It's a good
was
game.
a DS
Yeah.
game. I loved that game. I played the shit out of that game. But the funny thing is that I would remember all those games, but I don't necessarily associate them with the DS for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like,
A lot
it
of things
occupies
that
this
were
weird
on the
space.
DS are either ported to other consoles later, or
Sure.
or came from other consoles to begin with. You guys,
Yeah.
oh shit! Did either of you play Pokemon Conquest? Do you remember
No.
this game?
No,
No.
I remember
I
it, but I
did.
didn't play it. Yeah.
I did, and I fucking loved it. It's essentially a Nobunaga's ambition. It's a Muso, but with Pokemon.
Oh,
Whoa,
fantastic.
okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I think it's hard to
right.
find now, but if you can get like a way to play it, let's say, you should. I
No,
remember
there's
really
definitely no
loving
way
that
to play that game at this point. No. So I've got a list of the top games. Let's sort of focus on the top 5. Can any of you give me a guess at what is in the top 5?
Mario
I'd have
Kart.
to. That's what's going to be mine. Mario Kart DS would be, because that just seems to be the universal seller.
That is correct. Number 3, selling 23.6 million copies.
Three.
Mario
What would
Kart
be
DS.
higher than that?
Is it the Mario 64 port? I don't remember what it was
Yep.
actually
Yeah.
called, but
So that is number 10, 11.06 million. So Super Mario 64 DS.
What about
there's got to be a
what about
Pokemon
new?
in there somewhere.
Yeah. What about new Super Mario Brothers 2?
Yeah,
Number
'cause
one,
Super Mario
ding,
DS.
ding, ding, with a bullet.
Oh, that's it.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
30.8 million new Super Mario
Jesus
Brothers.
Christ.
I'll give you a list of the top 10 here, just
Yeah.
Yeah,
because this
please.
is terrible radio. Number 2, Nintendogs, all versions, 23.96 million.
Wow.
As we've mentioned, Mario Kart DS, number 3. Number 4, Brain Age, train your brain in
Okay.
minutes a day. 19.
That was a phenomenon, man.
They
Everybody I
pushed
knew,
that hard,
like
yeah.
grandmothers, were doing Brain Age,
Yeah, man.
Yes.
legitimately.
It's like
yeah.
Wii
it was like
bowling.
Wii bowling. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 5 and number 6, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl and Pokemon Black and White, 17.67 million and 15.64 million respectively. Number
Jesus.
7, Brain Age 2, more training in minutes a day, 14.88 million. Number 8, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, 12.72 million. Number 9, Animal Crossing Wild World, 11.75 million. And as we've already mentioned there, number 10, Super Mario 64 DS, 11.06 million.
That was the one where you could just play as Wario for no reason, right?
Yeah,
Like, you
it would,
just play
it
as
would
Wario
limit
or
which
Yoshi.
characters you could play in
Yeah.
which levels. It was kind of
Yeah,
a cool
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I remember I played through that, and you moved with the stylus, right? Like you moved
Yeah,
your
man.
little guy around. Yeah,
Weirdly
that was,
enough, Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, 4.76 million, number 18. So less
kidding.
than Lego Star Wars, the complete saga. Interesting.
that is funny. Yeah, it just goes to show like wow, like that console, it just felt like everybody had it, but now that we're talking about it, I can remember all of these games, but for some reason it just none of them like stuck in my head, so I thought it would just be a fun exercise to kind of talk about.
Cool, man. Yeah.
I mean, congrats to Nintendo for having the 2 biggest selling consoles of all time. It's like, holy
Yeah,
shit,
seriously.
man. Like, oh,
Those
like,
plucky
remember when they were
underdogs.
dead after the Wii U? Remember, oh, Nintendo's dead. Like, yeah, they're probably going to be okay. So I guess what we're just going to be talking about now is the weather forecast for the next 2 weeks. I do think it's worth saying that when we talk about the games that are coming out in the next 2 weeks, last time we did mention that like I think Dragon Quest VII came out before and then Neo 3. I do think it'll be worth talking about like what games in the previous week have come out and maybe reviewed well. Like just like as like, you know, kind of more than we thought, like because Dragon Quest VII and Neo 3, I was expecting them to have good reviews, but both of those have had like glowing fucking reviews so far. Hermit and Pig is another one, which we didn't even mention last time. That came out a couple days ago. That's also like over 90s on.
I did pick that up. I haven't started it yet.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
cool.
It's on my Steam Deck. Yes. I've been waiting on that one because I really love how it looks.
What the fuck is
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Never heard of this. Okay, I'll have to check out the trailer.
Yeah, it's a turn-based RPG about a little man and his
Sure
pig.
it is.
Yep.
Cool.
So coming out in the next 2 weeks, when looking here, Leah, you and I recorded yesterday, day of recording, a Kane Orange podcast on Castlevania: Legacy of Darkness.
Where you were a little bit high and said that you were going to make friends with you were going to make friends with Suda. Yeah, I remember.
I don't remember it going like that, but sure. On February 11th, which is this upcoming Tuesday, Romeo is a Dead Man comes out, which is the next game from Grasshopper, Suda51, Shadows of the Damned, No More Heroes, Fame. I'm fucking full-on stoked for this game.
Hell yeah, me too.
I might not get it day one now, though, because Neo 3 is kind of fucking owning my shit
Is
right
that
now,
getting a
but
physical release even, Romeo's
don't
a
know.
Dead Man? I don't
know.
Okay. I guess I could find out.
The only other one that I wanted to speak out on, two that I wanted to speak out on, is the Yakuza Kiwami 3 is coming out,
cool.
which I will
Yes,
get at some
it
point.
is.
Very excited for that. And then, which I didn't realize this was coming out, it comes out like 3 days from now. It'll come out the day after this recording drops, is Mugenics.
Yeah.
Which is Edwin McMillan's next game, famous creator of Binding of
Super Meat
Isaac
Boy.
and Super Meat Boy. And yeah, so his new game, it's like a tactics game, but it's getting like crazy good reviews already. And
I watched
that
a
wasn't
video
even on
on
my
it, and
radar.
it does it looks like it's a tactics system, but with cats that you breed and
Yeah.
collect, and also there's a job system. So
Yeah.
this was not on my radar until about a week ago, and now I'm like, I need this game.
I honestly, I think I heard Dez talk about it in the Keener Slack like 6 months ago, and it completely left my mind. And then all of a sudden, they just share the open critic reviews of it, and like people are like, the most addicting roguelike of all time, crazy, like Into the Breach level, like addictive. I was like, oh boy. So yeah, anything jumping out to you guys?
Well, I was going to bring up Mugenics, but you already did
Sorry.
that. No, that's fine. That Paranormicite sequel that we mentioned does come out in the next 2 weeks on the 19th. So that's one for me. But yeah, other than that, I think you hit everything for me. So Rich, what do you got?
Yeah, so based on my taste, there really isn't anything that's coming out, which is a relief because I've just started playing Neo 3, and that is a game that I will absolutely luxuriate in, no doubt. But I do want to point out that on February the 17th is a glut of, and I cannot believe I'm saying this in 2026, Nintendo Virtual Boy games. So you've got Galactic Pinball.
Is that when that happens? Okay, yeah.
Golf for the Virtual Boy, The Mansion of Innsmouth, which is Lovecraftian horror, of course, Red Alarm, Tellera Boxer, Under the Sea, and Virtual Boy Wario Land. Part of me, there's a sick part of me would love to sit and play those things, but I don't think one buys a Virtual Boy with the intention of playing it unless what you want to do is give yourself a stroke. So it's going to be cool
listen,
that for the first time in a while you can get hold of it. You know?
Listen, I ordered one of those stupid headsets months ago and promptly forgot about it until I keep seeing it in my inbox. Like, hey, guess what you did? Yeah, I know. Thank you. But
just stock up on Tylenol because you're going to need it.
I know. So maybe I can get some of the good painkillers. But I will take this opportunity to play some of the Jack Brothers isn't listed, and that's one that I'm interested in, but
yes.
Maybe it will come later, but yeah, I'll try out some of these games. I will be that guy for our show.
Fantastic.
The guinea pig.
Galactic Pinball,
Yes.
I remember being fun. I had a friend who had a Virtual Boy. We had one of those people, like friends in the town, who just had everything, who had a Virtual Boy.
The
And that was the only
kids,
Virtual
yeah.
Boy game I ever played.
Cool.
So that'll be interesting.
The only other thing I wanted to point out is on February the 26th, Digital Eclipse will be, and this is kind of not strictly within the 2 weeks, but the Disney Afternoon Collection comes out, which is great because that game was delisted from, I think, PlayStation
Oh, was it?
for a while. So you can get hold of like DuckTales and Chip and Dale and all that sort of good stuff. Those games are like classics and generally
Yeah.
well regarded for the
Oh,
genre.
and I somehow missed this, and we just talked about this this developer during the show today. Avowed is officially coming to PS5 too, on the 17th.
And the
So
crowd
maybe
went mild, I'm sure.
Maybe that will give that title a boost for them, and allow them to keep pursuing making new things. So
shit.
Hopeful for them.
High on Life 2? I didn't even realize that game had a sequel. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it does,
As
huh?
in Rick and Morty.
Yep.
Justin Roiland.
Yeah.
He's not
Not
part of
anymore.
that
Didn't he
anymore,
get kicked
though.
off the
Yeah.
project or something?
So he got.
Because
There's a lot
got a
going on
problem.
there. Like he got accused of sexual impropriety, I believe. Again, this is all allegedly, and then I
Weird
think
that.
that
White men
they
in power of sexual
Yeah.
impropriety.
No.
That doesn't
But
sound
then
right.
he got legally absolved of it, but the companies and the shows he was part of still didn't take him back. I don't know. That situation seems like a disaster.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it to comment.
me
I
either.
just vaguely know that he is a problem person.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So High on Life 2. There you go.
Great. Sign me up, I guess. I didn't play the first one, but
I played a little of the first one. It seemed a lot. It was a lot.
Obnoxious.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I wouldn't hate the game probably, but it seems like work to get past some of this stuff.
I wouldn't have played if it wasn't on Game Pass. I was a Game Pass subscriber at the time. It's the only reason I tried it out. I think I
that's
played
a
like
good
the
point.
first
Verbosity
4 or 5 hours of
slider.
it. It seemed fine. It was really trying hard to be funny. Trying very, very hard to be funny. So
It's the mildest
Well,
recommendation ever.
yeah.
It,
But yeah, maybe.
how do you feel about Rick and Morty? That's probably how you're going to feel about this game.
Yeah, probably. And
That's
there was
the
a time
impression I got anyway.
when the first couple seasons of Rick and Morty came out, believe me, I was like, I love absurd comedies. I kind of love that, like Dan Harmon stuff. I love Community. Like, so I was definitely in for the first couple seasons. What I would say there is that the mileage those jokes were able to take, like in the way, much in the vein of Family Guy, where like the first time you see it, it's like, oh, that's kind of cool and a unique way to view things. But then when you see it the exact same way over and over and over again, you can maybe judge my opinion of that.
Said it
so
before, I'll say it
don't-
again. I don't hate Rick and Morty. I hate the fandom of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So,
Don't judge me for my pickle Rick tattoo.
yeah,
But yeah.
I am.
Okay.
Partially.
Oh shit! We didn't even mention there's a new Mario Tennis game that comes out on
Oh,
the 12th
right.
too. Maybe that shows our collective enthusiasm for that. I loved old Mario Tennis, but man, Mario sports games, man, I just cannot get on board these days. But that's neither here nor there. That's the weather forecast for the next couple of weeks. We are concluding our news show. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Rich Davison and Leah Haydu, thank you both for being here today.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
And until next time, we'll keep reading the stories so you don't have to. Stay ignorant, fandom.